All right, welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, so last session we did implement configurability for the memory pool debugs and features that we have identified so far, at least. And there is some linker error. Yeah, linker error, and I don't know where this comes from suddenly. It's a little bit unholy. Oh, what is this? Text string. Oh, there's also a compile error. Look at that. DMA bookkeeping text string. I wonder. Yeah. Text string. Okay. Text string is undefined. Text string is undefined. Up. References must be initialized. Oh, it's probably a follow-up error. Text string. Why is this not okay? Text string. Text string. Text string. Text string. I guess the problem here is that this guy needs to go here, and then we can assign it here. I guess we need to do the same in the other one here. Oh no, that doesn't have it. Okay. Okay, let's see if we have any more luck with that thing. Still errors. Why? Oh, okay. Well, we have the same problem here. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, that compiles. Congratulations. Okay. Good, then we take this guy. I think we are happy with the test we have here. I think it's good enough. So we tested override malloc. So that didn't work. This one works. Okay, so now there's a question, should we default enable certain things? So let me see. So basically the stack, the stack trace, that was a performance offender, right? So maybe what we do is we go to our CMake and we enable things. Let me see. So disable custom new. So this one, custom new. So this one should probably be on by default. Checkpointing, that one should be turned off by default because it was also turned off in code by default, right? Let me double check that. Checkpointing. Yeah. No. Huh? Turn off memory pool. Okay. So it is turned off. Okay. So we turn this guy off. Yeah. Bounding ball. What about this guy? That guy is enabled by default. So we turn this guy on. Stack trace we turn off because it's very expensive. And the intense verify. Intense verify. That one. That one was disabled, right? So we turn that off and that off as well. What about the bookkeeping? Bookkeeping? That one was also disabled. Okay, then I think this is correct. So, no, the debug also needs to be on. Yeah. So we turned this debug on, the custom new, the bounding wall, the checkpointing is off, the stack trace is off, and the intense stuff is off. The ownership stuff, hold on. That one, I think that was also turned off. Yeah, yeah, I think that was also turned. And this one was also turned off, and this one was turned on. Yeah, I think we got this right. And then in the CI, in the GitHub workflow CI, I think we should here. 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 We should. I don't know how to use this. Actually, I think we don't make a CI change for that. Stack trace. No. Okay, so basically we have this one disabled, this one disabled, that one is enabled, this one is disabled, checkpointing is disabled, bounding ball is on, this one is on, this one is on, and that's it, right? So these four would be on. Yeah. Configure. Generate. Look at that. With less file opened, the project unloading is much faster. Oh, wow. Okay. The more you know. The more you know. Then why is it so slow if you have 600 files opened as tabs? Why is it so slow then? It shouldn't be that slow. Huh. Interesting. Maybe no one ever tested this at Microsoft. Okay, good. Okay, so let me make this larger. So the debug is turned on, the custom news on, checkpointing off, bounding wall on, stack trace off, intents verify is off, block ownership off, and intents DMA bookkeeping is off. Yeah. Okay. And override malloc is off, it doesn't even link, and this one is turned on. Yeah. Okay. That looks good to me. Yeah. And here we made this change. Yeah. Here we fix the compile error. Good. I think that's it's a good change. Yeah. Good. Then we will. We already have a new branch. Yeah. Let's rename this to memory pool configurability. Configurability. There we go. Okay. So, oh, this has failed. Uh-oh. What is the problem now? Another tag string. Huh? Oh, unreferenced local variable. Oh. Huh. Huh. Interesting. Well, then, interesting. Okay, well then we need to go to CPP macros. Yeah. Then here we add a C++ maybe unused. Maybe unused. Well, let me say here, define maybe unused. Maybe unused. Okay, then go to game memory. Includes utility, CPP macros. Maybe we should add this to the pre-RTS instead. Yeah, utility CPP macros. Let me search. Where else did we use it? Mm-hmm. Okay, then here we say maybe unused. Yeah. Undefined. Okay. Maybe unused. Const char. Okay, let's see if that will compile. It is a bit unholy. No, that's okay. Maybe unused text string. But another. Well, what we can also do is we can also wrap this in the same condition here. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe it still fails though. Okay, but maybe we simply take this guy and we do this and if done like that. Maybe that's fine. Okay, let's search for this guy. Man, no one can read this bullshit. Okay, well in that case we can remove this here again. Yeah. Good, let's try that again. Good. Let's see if there's anything interesting to look at here. Fixes level 1 warnings. Yeah, let's take a look at that. The error here is that val is a float rather than a double. Reverted the string edit and made val a double. Oof. The error here is that val is a float. Oh. Oof. Is there also a get float value? Oh, that is get double. Ah, there's also float. Get float. Yeah. Huh. Right. So, yeah. This one should be double. Yeah. Oof. Oof. How is this used ever? Huh. Is that not used? Get double. Get float. Let's see if that is use. That is use. Yeah. Okay. So if get double is not used, then it's inconsequential, right? Yeah. Get double appears to be not called anywhere. So this seems to be inconsequential. Any other comments? No, it doesn't look like it. Just one comment. Good. Good. So do we have a compilation? Yeah, we do. Okay, good. Then let's get back here. CPP macros. So, okay, we no longer need that thing. Delete. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Good. Well, that change took us a long time to build, but I think it's pretty good. So how do we call this? So this affects gen and 0 hour, and make memory pool. Let's say, yeah. Add CMake configurability for memory pool features and debugs. Add CMake configurability for memory pool features and debugs. Disable disable slow stack trace. Stack trace. We should probably run this once as far as we can get to see if it now, like the loading speed is okay. Hold on. We need to enable install. There we go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, memory grows. Yeah, it looks promising. Mm-hmm. 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 It does seem slower than usual, but it seems to be all right. Yeah, yeah, it runs now. That's all we want. Good. But it lags. Yeah, so it's still expensive, but at least it can launch. Yeah. Yeah, it would be good to see then how like performant this really is frame by frame, but it seems to be okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, we won't get much farther than this because now it will crash. Yeah. And there we go. Good. Good. But I think that's good enough for now. At CMake configurability for memory pool features and debugs, disable slow stick trace. Yeah. There we go. Then we push this guy. Push. 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 Good. Then we go to pull requests. What is this? Simulate VS6 optimizer in code. Huh? VC6 is basically compiling with fast mask enabled, which means that it changes floating point instructions around. Even if they're not 100% exact, that means that compiling with a different compiler would break compatibility because slightly different game logic would result in a mismatch. This PR adds some code that imitates the game logic optimizations applied by the VC6 optimizer to the floating point mask. Ideally, this allows you to replay release games in debug mode and may even allow you to compile the game on your compilers without breaking compatibility. Sadly, there are quite a few places to fix, and I only managed to make a very short replay work in debug mode. So this isn't quite finished and probably never will. I figured I make a PR just in case someone once has to contribute to work on. You can also see in the changes here what kind of optimizations VC6 is doing. It does some calculations in double, even though the code says float. It inlines some functions and simplifies formulas. It changes the order of basic mask operations arbitrarily around. Sadly, it's quite time consuming to figure those optimizations out because you either have to look at the disassembly or change the code around with trial and error while comparing logs of debugs and release builds. Okay, let me see. Simulate VC6 optimization. Huh? Okay. Jesus Christ. That's quite an invasive change. Oof. Oof. Simulate VC6 optimization. What? Yeah. I find this strange. I'm not sure. Maybe I probably don't understand it correctly. If you compile and what kind of optimization is he talking? Hold on. VC6 is basically compiling with fast math enabled. It changes floating point instructions around. Yeah, this is unmanageable. Like, I don't think we should do that. I don't think we should do that. This is a nightmare to maintain. It just makes everything. I applaud his effort because it's so much. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Why? Why? My gosh. Oof. Oof. Yeah, this is yeah, this looks unfeasible. Like, I mean, there's so much math in this game. Slapping alternative version in there for everything, that's unmanageable. Huh. When you see this here, so to me it looks like, so the order has to be this plus this, and then it's only added to this one. Does this mean that if the order was the other way, like these two together first and then add this one on top, does it mean then the addition yields a different result? That is, but doesn't this mean that that this can still be different between other compilers if they do the same, if they also do optimizations? I mean, when I see this thing, I do wonder. I do wonder if that means that even modern compilers can reorder this freely and then yield different results depending on the order of float value addition. Why does this even modern compilers can reorder this freely and then yield different results depending on the order of the float value additions? Even different modern compilers can reorder this freely and then yield different results depending on the order of the float value addition. Why is that even a thing? That it, well, I find it also suspicious that the different order of addition would yield a different result. Let me ask ChatGPT. Let me see what he says. When adding 3 float values with different, when adding 3 float values with different, when adding 3 float values with different in different orders, will they always yield the same results or not? No, adding 3 float values in different orders may yield different results due to floating point precision and rounding errors. Why does this happen? Floating point arithmetic in C++. Finite precision. Limited precision. Okay, well, that is rough. Oof. That is rough. Jesus Christ. Let's say, oof. Oof. I do wonder if that means that even different modern compilers can reorder this freely and then yield different results depending on the order of the float value additions. Is there maybe a compiler? Well, are there perhaps compiler switches to control these behaviors? Let me ask ChatGPT. 24 bits of precision, rounding errors, exponent differences. Possible output. Use double instead of float. Use a Kahan summation algorithm. What is that? Sort numbers before adding. Add smaller numbers first to reduce loss of significance. Are there perhaps compiler switches to control the order of floating math operations? Yes, switches to control floating point math operations, including reordering, precision, and rounding behavior. These flags affect whether floating point operations allow strict IEEE 754 rules or allow optimizations. Fast math aggressively optimizes floating point math, allowing reordering. May break strict IEEE. Fast math. I see. So that's what. I see. So that's what Helmut was talking about here in his change. Prevents reordering of floating point expressions. No associative math. FP, precise. Prevents aggressive reordering but allows some optimization. Strict. Disables all optimizations that might affect floating point results. Fast math. Okay, well then my comment is my comment is obsolete then. Let me ask, would certain compiler switches not be able to replicate the exact ordering that VC6 had? Changing all math to replicate what VC6 would compile to looks unfeasible. I think he mentioned that as well. It's quite time consuming. Yeah. Let me put the oof here. Oof. Let's say perhaps. Let me add this here actually as a comment. This define enables some code that imitates the game logic optimizations applied by the VC6 optimizer to the floating point mask. Ideally, this allows you to release games in debug mode and may even allow you to compile the game on newer compilers without breaking compatibility. Sadly, there are quite a few places to fix, and I only managed to make a very short replay work in debug mode, so this isn't quite finished and probably never will be. The ordering that VC6 had. Changing all mass to replicate what VC6 would compile to. Looks like a huge endeavor. I don't know if I spelled this correctly. It also pollutes the code with more math. Yeah. Let me just add this as a comment. Okay, let me put the labels as experimental and minor and yeah. Yeah. Then let me convert this to draft. Yeah, this is a tough change. Yeah. Okay. Let me create a pull request for this one. Merge with rebase. Yeah. Add CMake configurable for memory pool features and debugs. Disable slow stack trace. Okay. Then here we remove here. Addresses that one. This change makes this change adds CMake configurability for memory pool features and debugs, and disables the slow stack trace debug by default. It also fixes a compile error, a small compile error with one of the memory pool debugs that was turned off previously. Okay. Debug builds can now be used. With this change, debug builds are usable. There we go. This change also moves config stuff into a separate CMake file. It is a separate commit. Okay, labels are labels are let me think. Build, debug, performance, major. Well, let's put it on. Yeah, it is a major because debug is basically unusable. Yeah. Add CMake configurability for memory pool features and debugs. Disable slow stack trace. Yeah, I think that's good. Center window on startup. This PR centers the window after loading on the screen, not including taskbar. It also adds code to pump window messages during startup to avoid not responding in the title. That was necessary because Windows otherwise ignores the move call in debug builds and also on slower machines. That causes the compiler to emit a message when the game will also no longer run on Win95. Wait, would that have been a thing? I think it would have crashed anyway because of it using Windows XP API functions. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it would have run on Windows 95. Impossible. Yeah, this looks like a reasonable change. Just have it spawn at a better position, yeah, instead of like a random spot. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Mhm. 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 Labels. Mm, minor enhancements. Mm, minor enhancements. Zero hour. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're getting a lot of pull requests here. I think we need to start closing some. Is there any kind of informative keyword that you use for information about a change that might look odd at first? I do not understand the question. After applying your fix, slight compilation error. What? We make no mistakes. Okay, so the debug situation is handled. What's the time? Yeah. So maybe I should also add this one here. Call stack of slowness. Call of slow stack trace. There you go. Dot. Update comment. Okay. Good. Then next step. Let's close this guy. Yeah. Okay. So we added this fixed this debug performance degradation. Then the last to do for today, if we can manage, would be to write the contribute document, or at least start. Yeah. So we would go to main branch again. Create branch. Add contribute doc. Good. And then we go here. And I think as a starting point, we take the contribute document from patch. And then we make some adjustments. Good. So I think we simply do this. I think we don't need this whole the stuff at the top. We don't need. So how to contribute as developer? To make content distribution, aka pull request, either fork this repository and clone that fork. To make content distributions, aka pull request, either fork this repository and clone that, or just clone if you are invited as a contributor. Well, that's not true anymore. To make contributions, aka pull request, fork this repository, fork and clone this repository. Yeah, well, it's kind of self-explanatory. Pull request, fork and clone this repository. Okay, this one we don't need. Every change for the game needs to, let's say, every user-facing change. Every user-facing change to the game needs to be documented. All documentation ideally is written in the present tense and not the past. Good. Fixes. We need to revisit this fixes particle effect. Yeah. I'm not so sure about this yet. When a text refers to a faction unit structure, upgrade, or similar, then if the text refers to a faction unit structure, upgrade, or similar, then the unit should be worded without any abbreviations and should be prefixed with the faction name. Valid faction names are USA, China, GLA, Boss, Civilian. Subfactions names can be appended to, for example, GLA Stealth. Good. Fixes particle effect of USA Missile Defender. Bad. Fixes particle effect of MD. Script changes and documentation. Changes ideally are concise and only touch the lines of code that the change relates to. Any changes made, well, any changes need to be. Any user-facing changes made to code need to be accompanied by a comment where the change is made. The comment can be inlined or put at the beginning of the changed block or function. It must be clear, let's say, at the changed class, function, or block. It must be clear from the change description what has changed. The expected comment format is the super hackers, keyword, author, date, a meaningful description for this change. The super hacker's word and add keyword are mandatory. Author and dates can be omitted when preferred. Keyword. Okay, so we have some more. We have info. We also have to do. We have compile. Compile warning. So I did edit with compile. Compile. Okay, fixing a bug. Fixing a bug. Bug fix. How about we move fix up here? Feature. Adding something new. Performance, refactor, tweak, info, to do. How about we just use compile? How about we just use add compile for both errors and warnings? Fixes a compile warning or error. Or it addresses a compile warning or error that requires, yeah, no, that's enough. To do a note for something left to do. Information for the next reader. Useful information for the next reader. Okay, how about we order this a bit differently? We put the info. Let's put the compile somewhere else. Here. So we have bug fix and a fix. We have compile. Maybe it should be called compile fix. Add compile is good enough. Feature. Performance, refactor, tweak, info, to do. Yeah, refactor, tweak. So some values or settings, tweak. Yeah. No, I think that looks good to me. That should cover like the most common use cases for touching up something, right? Block comment sample. So that will be the super hackers bug fix. I think we already have some comment which I can use as an example. Oof. Oof. What? Why is VCX Proi filters? Why is this part of the search? Huh? What? That's wild. That is wild. What the hell? Why is this part of the search? Maybe we should say not. not dot vcx breu dot filters. That works. Let's put something that looks good. Okay, let's put this here. Bug fix J.A. James. Fix uninitialized memory access and add more Windows versions. And then inline comment sample. We don't have an inline comment sample. We can just make one up. Actually, maybe we should say that it should not be inlined. Comment. The comments can be put at the beginning of the change class, function, or block. It must be clear from the change description what has changed. Let's remove the inline comment sample for now. I think inline comments for code adds more confusion, especially if we have some auto format at the end. Yeah, let's do that first. Yeah, the expected comment format is the super echoes, keyword, author, a meaningful description for this change. Pull request documentation. The title of a new pull request is prefixed. The title of a pull request is prefixed. Documentation and maintenance pulls are exempt of this rule. The title of a new pull request is the title of a new pull request. If the pull request is meant to be merged with rebase, then a node for merge with rebase should be added to the top of the text body. Commits, all commits of the pull request need to be properly named and need the pull number to be added as a suffix in parentheses. Did I write that correctly? Parentheses. Yeah, parentheses. Example. Three, 5, 6. The text body begins with links to related issue reports and or pull requests if applicable. To write a link, use the following format. Relates to that, follow up for that, fixes that. Let's do here 333. If the pull request is meant to be merged with rebase, then a node for merge with rebase should be added to the top of the text body. To help clarify, to help identify the correct merge action when it is ready for merge. All commits of the pull request need to be properly named and need the pull number to be added as a suffix in parentheses. All commits need to be able to compile on their own without dependencies in newer commits of the change. All commits need to be able to compile on their own without dependencies in newer commits of the same pull request. Prefer to create changes for squash, as this will simplify things. For squashing, for squash and merge. The text body begins with links to related issue reports and or pull requests if applicable. Some keywords are interpreted by GitHub. Read about it here. The text body continues with a description of the change in appropriate detail. This serves to educate reviewers and visitors to get a good understanding of the change without the need to study and understand the associated changes files. If the change is controversial or affects gameplay in a considerable way, then a rationale text needs to be appended. The rationale explains why the given change makes sense. Every change needs to be accompanied with a YAML definition file for the changelog generation. I think this one we can TBD. let's say work in progress. Work in progress. Okay. Yeah, we need to make multiple passes on this and get it to what we need. Good, what do we have here? Come back around to the file where most of the conversation has been around with the conversion macros real to in. This is what I was essentially looking at doing. But it might look off to someone if they came across it. Okay, it wouldn't let me and send it as a message. Reason behind this is that the functionality remains the same, but the VS22 build doesn't have to use or get slowed down by the extra function. If this is about performance, then that should not be part of the change. The change is only concerned about eliminating part of the current change. The change is only concerned about eliminating assembler, inline assembler in non-VS6. Okay, we should probably append the change documentation, code changes and documentation changes ideally are concise and only touch the lines of code that the change relates to. Any user-facing changes made to code Any user-facing changes made to code any user-facing changes, let's say user-facing changes need to be accompanied by a comment, by comments where the change is made. User-facing changes need to be accompanied by comments where the change. What has changed? Mandatory to identify to help identify the origin of the to help understand what this is about, and that it was not a comment from an original game developer, from an original EA developer. To help understand what this is about and that it was not a comment from an original EA developer. Well, does it really need explanation? The superhackers word and keyword are mandatory. Author and date can be omitted when preferred. Keyword or fixing a bug. Fixes a bug. Fixes something, but it is not a user-facing bug. Compile. Addresses a compile warning or error. Feature. Adding. Adds something new. Performance. Improves performance. Refactor. Moves or rewrites code but does not change the behavior. Tweak. Changes some value or setting. Changes values or settings. Info. Lists. Let's say writes useful information for the next reader. Adds a note for something left to do if really necessary. Or when really necessary. If it's okay. Okay, yeah, we probably need to do some more iterations on this. Pull request documentation. The title is prefix. Okay, this one is wrong. Followed by a descriptive title of the change. Documentation and maintenance pulls are exempt of this rule. Yeah, I don't think we have this in our patch repository, but I don't think we need this kind of thing here. A title of a new pull request. Let's say begins with a gen or zh. Let's say gen and or zh tag, depending on the game it targets. Depending on the games it targets. The title of a new pull request begins with a gen and or zh tag, depending on the games it targets. Behind that, the title consists of a concise sentence, not ending beginning with an uppercase letter and ending without a dot. The title consists of a concise and descriptive sentence for the change. The title of a new pull request begins with a gen and or zh tag, depending on the games it targets. After that, the title consists of a concise and descriptive sentence for the change, beginning with an uppercase letter and ending without a dot. if a change does not target it's if a change does not target game code, does not target a game. If a change does not target a game, then a tag is not necessary. After that, the title consists after furthermore, the title consists of a concise and descriptive sentence about the change. A concise and descriptive sentence about the change, beginning with an uppercase letter and ending without a dot. Yeah, I think that is fair. The title of a new pull request begins with a gen and or ZH tag. Let's make this in bold. Depending on the games it targets. If a change does not target a game, then a tag is not necessary. Furthermore, the title consists of a concise and descriptive sentence about the change, beginning with an uppercase letter and ending without a dot. If the pull request is meant to be merged with rebate base, then a node. Maybe we should add a sample. Yeah. So a sample would be, let me see. A sample would be here, this one. Example. Title of a new pull request or commit. Example. GenZH fix uninitialized memory access in that. But the change beginning with an uppercase letter and ending with a dot. The title begins with a word that describes the essence. The title begins with a word that describes the action that the change takes. For example, fix that thing. Fix that thing. Change. For example, the title begins with a word that describes the action that the change takes. For example, fix. For example, fix. Fix bug. Fix bug. Change feature. Well, I should get it. For example, fix this, change that, add fix this, change that, add those dot dot dot. Let's put this in italic. Yeah. Maybe we put this into inline. Add that. Refactor thing. Refactor thing. Let's say the title ideally, because there can probably be exceptions, right? The title ideally. Like, so for example, if you look here, like you see fix, fix, add, fix, upgrade, fix, 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 right? This always starts with an action. Prevent, upgrade, fix, 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 disable, add, split, remove. Yeah. So always some action. Upgrade, add, fix. Is there anything that violates this already? Refactor, add, fix, add, implement. This one violates it. Minimal changes. Yeah. So this one is wrong. Let me say here, good, bad. Minimal changes for successful build. This one should have been like add minimal changes for successful build, right? I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's still understandable, of course, but I think it's nice to be consistent. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the title of a new pull request or commit, or let's say and or commits. The title of a new pull request. Of a new pull request, or let's say and or commits within the title of a new pull request and or commits within begin with a gen and or zh tag depending on the games it targets. If a change does not target a game, then a tag is not necessary. Furthermore, the title consists of a concise descriptive sentence about the change or commit. Change and or commit. Beginning with an uppercase letter and ending without a dot. The title ideally begins with a word that describes the action that the change takes. For example, fix this, change that, add those, refactor thing. Yeah, I think this explains it. So good, genzh, fix uninitialized memory access in get OS info. Bad, minimal changes for successful build. If the pull request is meant to be merged with rebase, then a note for merge with rebase should be added to the top of the text body to help identify the correct merge action when it is ready for merge. All commits of the pull request need to be properly named and need the pull number to be added. Let's say need the number of the pull request to be added as a suffix in parentheses. Example 333. All commits need to be able to compile on their own without dependencies in your commits of the same pull request. Prefer to create changes for squash and merge, as this will simplify things. The text body begins with links to related issue reports and/or pull requests if applicable. To write a link, use the following format. Okay, I think that's already a good write-up to begin with, but needs more work. Yeah. Yeah, there's probably some more things that will come to my mind. Yeah. Should mostly be there then. Just need to make a small push to correct something Zambas noticed in the debug function. Your assembler branch should build and run 0 hour without any needed inclusion. Now I rebase it with main, so it has ASCII fix in it too now. Nice. Perhaps we send a VC6 build to the. Perhaps we send a VC6 build to the testers for both games before merge. To make sure nothing broke. Nothing broke. Compatibility. Yeah. Are you guys using the open folder thing? Open folder? Huh? Open folder? How did that ever compile? It is enabled. It is enabled, yes. Get file handler. Huh? What is this? Get file. The file factory get file. Now we have to type it. The file factory get file. Not found. Oh, now we have to type it again. The file factory get file. There we go. Well, the question is, where is that? file open. So it is a file equals like this one maybe. Yeah, looks like this one. No error here. No error. www.file.h. Which file? Ver ck ver chk.cpp. Looks okay. Looks okay for me. Maybe he was looking somewhere else. Let's see. No. It looks like it would be this one. This one. No. No. I don't know why would fail for him. File factory, get file handle. So file class. It's clearly here. Write close. We didn't comment this. No, this must be something. This must be something he edited, because here it's definitely here. Nothing is commented. No. Good. Yeah, to do, write contribute document. What's the time? 1 hour 43. Yeah. Let's see if there's some more to look at here in our notification. I would say we continue next session here with this contribute thingy. Get it done next session maybe. Yeah. On second thought, let us stick with add compile, which I had used for compile errors. I think we can just use the same keywords for errors and warnings. Add compile. static cast. Yeah, I think I will look at it again once he has addressed all sorts of things. Yeah. I highly doubt it's possible to imitate the VC6 optimizer with modern compilers, but I haven't tried. We are probably stuck with VC6 until we break compatibility. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not able to reproduce your success. Your build tested 4 days ago. Sec faults on me. Build instructions missing. Dependency on an MSO and C++ package manager environment was. You need to set. Okay. Yeah, looks like there's some tricky setups. Yeah. Oh man, there's just so much to look at. My gosh. Okay. Yeah, good. So, but we have addressed this one. That is good. CSC logging debug functionality. Okay, that one is interesting. This PR adds a bunch of functionality to help debugging mismatches. Existing CSC related command line arguments now work when compiling. Release with logging enabled if you define release debug logging. Save CSC data into a file per frame with new arguments. Save debug CSC per frame. Some added improved log output. When a mismatch occurs, the frame it happened on is now calculated correctly. Remove transform CSC logging in object CSC. This was like a copy paste and not intended because it spams with mostly useless data. Okay. A comment regarding gkeep CSC. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like there was already logging in place for the most part. Huh, okay. That's interesting. Okay. I thought that this would be something that we would have to add from scratch. I didn't check it, so I didn't know. Looks like there was stuff already in place. Okay. Well, that makes things easier. That's nice. Yeah, looks like it was mostly there already. He just revived it, basically. That's nice. Yeah, start new game. Why does this have a star here? Mm. Yeah, this needs more attention to review. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me put labels. Debug. Major. Let's put network. Well, it's technically not network related, but yeah. Debug major. Okay, Helmut Buhler is really spamming here the features. Oh boy. Fix replay CRC checking. Okay. Okay. Bug minor. Which means that you can replays that do not belong to the version that you have. I see. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I think I will end the session here. We got a bit of stuff done. Next session we continue with the contribute document. And yeah, probably more reviews. And yeah. Yeah. Then we need to merge the assembler fixes. Yeah, that's the next priority. Does a build pipeline spit out build artifacts? Yes. Just wondering. I still don't have ASM branches rebase it. Okay, it doesn't seem like to have a CD part yet. It does generate via 6 builds, yes. Okay, let me see where the artifacts are then. Assembler. Help document assembler code. Can we, do we still need this? I think we no longer need this thing, right? Yeah. Do we still need the ASM documentation markdown? Do we still need the ASM documentation markdown? Perhaps it can be added to the wiki instead of this repository. Well, let me do it. This change is not relevant anymore. Let's say this change is mostly not relevant anymore because the assembler fixes are being finalized now. The wiki team can put the ASM documentation MD file. The wiki team can put the ASM documentation MD file. Can put somewhere into the wiki if they like. Somewhere in the the wiki is not the right place either for this. Or somewhere into the wiki. Let me say, is the ASM documentation is mostly not relevant because ASM fixes are being fine. Is the ASM documentation MD Can we drop the ASM documentation empty or put it in the wiki for safe keeping? Is it still relevant? Can we? Well, let me ask, is the ASM documentation MD still useful for anything? Well, let me ask, can we close this change? Can we close this pull? Yeah. Good. That's it. Wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.